like that. Woo! What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Pull-Up Show. My name is BJ Matthews, a.k.a. B Jizzle. Before we get started, follow us on the YouTube page, the Pull-Up Basketball Podcast. Like, share, subscribe all of our YouTube videos. Buying that notification bell by subscribe button. As well, if you donate to the Pull-Up Basketball Podcast, you can do so through our Cash App, $ BJ Matthews. Again, $ BJ Matthews. Send all your, love, I'm saying, to the podcast, whatever you guys may love. New users, returning subscribers, thank you for coming to the show again. Today, we have a very good topic for y'all today. Not pertaining around the game of basketball itself, but we're going to be talking about something that's actually surrounding the game basketball as far as, the people involved. So let's get right into it. Now, if you guys did not see the thumbnail picture right here, as you can see on the left is a basketball player by the name of PJ Washington. In the NBA, I don't know what team he's on right now, but the time he's on the Charlotte Hornets. A few years back, he played for the Kentucky Wildcats. He was in a relationship with the young lady on the right, Brittany Renner. Okay, for those of you that know who Brittany Renner is, she is a well-known public figure. Won't say that it's for the right reasons, but nonetheless, she is. She's well-known on Instagram, Twitter, different interviews and things that she's basically, done in the past. She's wrote a book about relationships and men that she's been with in the past, including the gentleman like I just showed y'all, PJ Washington, where she got very, very detailed about her relationships and how she actually got what she wanted out of those relationships. So the reason why we're doing this podcast, because again, basketball, of course, it's a basketball podcast. It's the Pull-Up Basketball Podcast. Again, if y'all want y'all shirts as well, $30 to $35 a pop. Send you to the Cash App, send me an email. I'll put that in the ticker as well, bjmatthews3@gmail.com. We're a basketball podcast at the end of the day, right? But we still talk about other topics about people in life, because there's other people, not just men, but we have women subscribers on here as well. Mrs. Davis, Miss Ellie, Miss Teresa. Like, we have a lot of different subscribers who are women as well. So we like to talk on different subjects, just about life in general. And if it's something that we can spark the interest of the audience, then we're going to be able to talk about it. Hit that like button if y'all in here, comment section, all that good stuff. But back to the topic, Brittany Renner is one of the most known public figures right now. And how she got is not really ideal. Basically, if we're going to be transparent and honest, she's made a lot of noise about, her sexual interactions with men, if we're going to be honest about it. And it's made her look some type of way towards a lot of men who she's been mocked for, I think about the last 2-3 years, if I'm not even more, of the situation, because how she handles stuff, how she's moved. She's 30 years old right now. So in her 20s, she was doing a lot of, things that caused her to be what they call promiscuous, basically jumping from man to man and dealing with, different people, different men at a short period of time. And it seemed like it's caught up to her at age 30 years old, where she's done living that life and she actually wants to settle down. And she somewhat regrets I wouldn't say regret, because she said in the interview, but she says that she hates that she was used by men, that men have taken advantage of her in the past. Men have, treated her a certain type of way, just wanted her for sex, a whole bunch of things. I'm going to let y'all listen to the interview. It's about a 2-minute interview from her, or 2.5-minute interview from her. I'm going to let y'all hear for what she has to say. We're going to go back and going to talk about it more into detail. And, yeah, man, here we go.
I hate how I allowed myself to just be, used up by men. And that came from a lack of self-worth. I did not understand my value that I was born with. I didn't. And I gave, again, people look at sex differently, but sex is spiritual unification. At the end, they don't care how you spin it. It's spiritual.
For women.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah,
for
women.
Whatever. Okay,
Yeah.
fine. For women, it's spiritual unification. And people that I shared my body with, when I think about my list, it's repulsive because they didn't deserve it. But that was an outcome of me discounting my worth. And it's disgusting. I hate even having that spiritual tie in any type of way. But yeah, I would absolutely change sexually how I move around. And not even necessarily because of like the societal outcome. It's more so from my self-worth.
How it makes you like feel.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good knowing that you gave a sacred part of you to a man that looked at sex with you as taking a piss. That's not fulfilling. It's disgusting to think about. And I feel like I've beat myself up every single day for my decisions. And what people say about me online holds no candle to what I've told myself on a daily basis. Like, I've been called worse by better, and that better be me. Like, I have talked down to myself, and I felt like I was unworthy for a very long time. And I would say this is more of a recent awareness, like the past year, where I'm like, Brittany, you were always enough. Like, you never had to seek validation outside of you. You never had to look that far. And that's what I would tell myself. I would and try to tell women, you should really think about who you're laying down with. Like, and that is a more traditional view, but it's like sex is not even worth it if they don't give a fuck about you. They don't care about you. They have no desire to. They don't want to know your favorite color. They don't give a shit. So why do you want them over top of you? Again, that's come from feeling used up, and sometimes that's why the used goods comments, they sting. Because you know what? There are times I felt like that. I feel like the new toy that now is unexciting and put away in a box. So I just have to accept what I've done and move forward with this awareness and just know that, okay, the guy that most likely, that I'm not looking for a husband, I'm looking for my husband, and there's a difference. That guy is going to be a very small percentage, and I'm okay.
All right. So that was Brittany Renner's about 2 minute, 30-second interview about her speaking about what we just kind of, simply talked about, basically how she's been in her 20s, she was dealing with man to man to man to man to man. And at age 30, she's now, choosing to settle down. Salute to everybody. My man Peggy 180. Salute to my man October's very own. That's my Barbara Rico. Niggas outside messing with us. So we got some people in here, man. Hit that like button, you know what I'm saying? Hit that like button for your boy. This is something also, this ain't the first interview she's had. She's had multiple interviews. If you guys go on YouTube, she's everywhere. She's had multiple sit downs. She sat down with DJ Vlad. She sat down with the young lady that we just had the interview with. She sat down with Kevin Samuels before he passed away. She sat down with different, podcasters and things of that nature. She's sat down from top to bottom. So she's been very outspoken about what's been going on with her life and how she's moving at this point. Now, this is going to be a podcast where it's going to take some time. So I want y'all to really sit and lock in with me. I'm going to let time for people to come in a little bit later, talk a little bit and say what y'all want to say. But I got a lot to say about this subject because I feel like this is something where it's just getting worse and worse with the behavior of our generation. And not enough people are speaking about it. Not people are talking about it. They're just sweeping it under the rug and just continuously going on with their lives. The culture that we're in right now is not promoting, positive relationships, magnanimous, or whatever you want to call it. It's promoting, poison for the most part. We're going to be honest about it. And it's taking effect on people as such as this woman right here, Brittany Renner. But let's start from the top. Again, she was in a relationship with this man right here, PJ Washington, where they had a kid together. Hold on 1 second. Move this out the way. She was in a relationship with PJ Washington, who was the forward of the Charlotte Hornets for a period of time. There it is right there. Now, Brittany Renner is 30 years old. At this time, she was 26, and the young man was 18, right? So she already was 8 years older than this man. And she got a baby by him. And at the time, people were, basically saying that she was trying to trap him into having a child. Why would you have a baby with an 18-year-old while you're 26? What are you doing with somebody 8 years younger than you? You know what I'm saying? Still kind of somewhat of a minor. What was your point of doing that? right? Those were people's questioning her motives. Now, before all this, you might want to ask, what was she doing before she was, this known figure or this person who was, in the limelight like this? Well, this is her family right here. She's I guess that's her sister. That's her brother on the top, or I don't know if that's her dad or brother, one of the two. Looks like her brother. And that's her mom on the right. Now, a lot of this stuff we're gonna talk about stems from people's childhoods as well. You guys gotta understand, man. Everything starts from your childhood. Everything starts from the person you become to be, you grow into. It comes from your childhood. It stems from how you grew up, right? And it doesn't just pick up from when you're 20 or 22 or 24 or 30 or 40. Like it starts from a certain. It's like anything else. You start from a certain time, right? So this is her family. Her brother on the top, her sister on the bottom, her mother on the right. So she is mixed. She's half black, half white. Her father was not in her life. She was more so raised by her grandparents, according to her interview with Kevin Samuel. She was raised by her grandparents. She's from Mississippi. I think it's called Ocean Surf, Mississippi, some small town. Mississippi is one of the most poorest states, if not the poorest in the U.S. Not too many economic opportunities there. And usually when people don't have a lot of opportunities, they look towards the wrong thing. Make sure y'all keep hitting that like button for your boy. So she grew up in, Mississippi, and she really, I guess you can imagine, was looking for ways out, right? Just like anybody else, an opportunity. So according to her, she went to, she was pretty good at soccer, right? That's her 6'9" right there. Rapper. I don't know what's going on with him, but he's not really talked about too much. But he's a rapper out of New York. You can see Brittany Renner kicking the soccer ball. She had a scholarship to Jackson State, the same college that Deion Sanders was just at in Mississippi. She was a pretty good, athlete at Jackson State. I think they won a SWAC conference championship her freshman year. As you can see, her body's, pretty, athletic. So she definitely was an athlete, and she used that to her benefit at the time, right? So, she was again, athlete at Jackson State, and she played soccer and all that stuff. So, that really, was kind of what she was before she got into the limelight, right? Now she's in a position where she's known by the public eye. She got out of college, and I guess she got in a relationship with one of the people at Jackson State. Didn't work out. She moves on. Years later, from whatever relationship to relationship, she finally settles down with this dude somewhat, and they have a child, and then they break up within 2 months, right? And we're going to stop right here, and I'm going to play another video because she got a lot of backlash for that. She got a lot of backlash for, being somebody that just sits around and takes over his men's money, right? Again, like I just told y'all, they basically, the story was that she was looked at as promiscuous and a gold digger because she chose to breach off this man who's about to go to the NBA, right? So she breached off of him, and she got a baby by him, and people looked at her as being somewhat of a gold digger at the time. And that's kind of what her title has been ever since then, right? I didn't even know this woman, Brittany Renner, until like literally 2 years ago. But apparently she's been around for, half a decade. So, just not even just being a gold digger, but somebody that just takes over men. That's pretty much what she's been labeled as. So I'm gonna let y'all listen to another minute video by a presumed rapper, and let's hear what his thoughts is about Brittany Renner. So here we go.
I know that hurt him, bro. She just so cocky, bro. Like, bro, she say she looking for sons, huh? Hide your sons.
Hide your sons.
I got mine here, baby. I got him. Don't worry. He.
Well, come find out why I'm cocky. I'll show you.
There you go. There you go. If you get with Brittany Renner, you owe me one. I'm just telling you that right now. You owe me one right now. If you end up messing with Brittany Renner. Well, number one, would you mess with Brittany Renner? Because she kind of threw.
Nah. I'm not attracted to her type.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's it. I'm not attracted to her type.
Okay, and her type is what?
Go get niggas out money. I'm not attracted to her type. I'm not. That's not my thing.
Okay.
All right, so that was Lil Boosie, one of my favorite rappers, right? You know what I'm saying, from Louisiana. Speaking on the Brittany Renner situation, now, if you guys caught the first glimpse, he said, like, you know, she's so cocky, and I know he was hurt. She's talking about Brittany Renner and PJ Washington splitting up, okay? I think she's the one that split up with him. Don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure she's the one that split up with him, chose to, you know, go to a new situation. And as any man would imagine, when their significant other leaves you like that, or, you know, kind of somewhat finesses you, you feel some type of way about it. You feel, you know, less than a man. Let's go be honest about it. So that's what Lil Boosie was talking about. And pretty much at that point, you know, she was looked at as a villain by the media. Like, oh, this woman gets what, you know, she just gets with men just to use them and abuse them. And she's openly talked about this in, you know, Instagram stories and stuff like that, where it's how she talks and how she treats men, how she finesses men. Like, she's talking about how it's so easy to get an NBA or athlete pregnant, or because they don't like to use condoms, and how many men would love to sleep with her, even though they know her body count. Like, a whole bunch of things that she's openly said that she feels like she can just get whatever she wants. This is what she was looked at, you know, just a few years ago, right? Just in the past. So you go from that to now, we're at age 30, you're saying that you're humble and you're actually, you know, disgusted how you let your body just go like that and be treated by men. So let's go into that little secret. I got a few videos, man. I like to, you know, get context on my videos. Hit that like button for your boy, man. Get the people in here. I need people. We got more likes in here. We got over 7 people. We need to get more. We need to get more likes in the video, man. So hit that like button for your boy. It's free. So let's play this next video. It's about 47 seconds where Brittany Renner talks about how. Actually, let's play this video. This is another video about how another person actually spoke about how she was 36 seconds. So here we go.
I thought everybody had you as a side chick. I'm gonna be honest. I thought everybody else had you as a side chick, and listen. In a male community, we know the chicks that's like, yo, that's side chick. And then we know the dumbass who wifes up the side chick, and we're like,
so what makes me a side chick? Because I'm beautiful. And
no, because the one who everybody but doesn't wife, that's the side chick. Sorry.
So who have been side chick?
You wrote a book.
Who have been a side chick? But I was never a side chick.
And by the way, not one of them claimed you.
You lied to me.
Salutes, my man. East Oakland. What's good, big dog? What's good with you, man? Hope everybody's hit that like button for your boy. So that was basically what Brittany Renner had to say about the situation, or DJ Academics. That's a, you know, pretty famous podcaster, host. You know, he spoke to Brittany Renner. She, like I said, she's been on various amount of talk shows and podcasts where she's spoken openly, and that's really how she's been getting a lot of her, you know, notoriety and her money. Her book has been pushed because of, you know, people she's talked about quite often. That's kind of how the wave is with social media. If you get talked about, then you get paid. So that's kind of where we're at. But anyway, so now she goes from being just an opportunist and getting money and getting what she wants to now she looked at as being a whore and getting, like, just sleeping with multiple men at one time. Again, this is in her 20s. That video we just watched was, I think, not a few years ago. Probably, like, I don't know how long ago, but it was probably either right before COVID or, you know, a year after COVID. Right? I'm thinking it's right before COVID because they didn't have the mask on. But she goes from now just being just somebody that just uses people for their money to now she's just sexualizing with other different men. So now she got 2 strikes against her. My man, happy holidays to you. My God, happy holidays to you. But so she got 2 strikes against her, right? And I'm gonna play one last video about how she looks at herself now. That same video I played for the first time. I'm gonna play one last piece, and then we'll be done with the videos. 45 seconds of how she looks at her life from when she was in that situation. I want you to, you know, hear this a short snippet.
Why don't? Because in my head, like, why wouldn't you avoid this? If you could go back, you wouldn't avoid the situations. Because I thought in the beginning you said that like you wouldn't change it because of the wisdom you've acquired. But to me, it's like, oh my God, if I knew what I know now, like I probably would have waited till I was married.
No, I get that, and I understand that. I think that I have a very influential voice, and I have grown to be a voice for women who have gone through what I've gone through and experienced what I've experienced. And although I can't speak for the majority because my situation still isn't even average, right? And I'm aware of that, but my voice is important, just like your voice is important. And that's why I would not want to change anything.
Okay, that was 47. That's the last video we're gonna watch. But she said from the start that she regrets men taking advantage of her. Like she regrets giving herself to men and how she gave a sacred part of her body to men. To now she's saying she has no regrets at all. So I'm trying to put two and two together to what she's trying to say. I think what it is basically, again, she does have regret of what she's done, but also with an addition with that, it's like, okay, like anything else, what did you learn from it and what did you get out of it? That's what it comes down to at that point. So that's what she was saying at the very end. Okay, so now that we got the videos out the way, here's what I'm getting from this. First of all, and why it's such a prevalent topic, we in a society right now where a lot of our younger generation is going to have to be exposed to a lot of this garbage. That's been created by media. That's been created by, you know what I'm saying, things that may seem right, but they try to change gender norms. We're in a dark spot right now when it comes to this. Too many times in this world that we live in, we run into stuff like this on TV and media and just in life in general with these women who are constantly getting in these relationships, or they're choosing to just be bad representations of themselves, and they just make a mess. Let's just be real about it. Right? So what I see when I listen to Brittany Renner speak is a person who has a lot of regret, who has found out the way she was living and the way she was doing things was not ideal, which never works out. That I'm just going to sit back and just have multiple men all over me. And, you know, that's going to make them want me even more. As you guys saw with DJ Academics, what the guy with the hat said, he said, we know the women who are wives and the ones that are just, you know, jump offs. Right? We know the women that are meant to have marriage and have, you know, a ring on their finger and have stability. And we know the ones that just out here just, you know, being a number. Let's just be real about it. That's what we know. That's what we understand. And I think a lot of times women believe that if me having a lot of men, I can do it. I can handle it. What women are finding out, especially now, like a lot of you guys y'all not built to have multiple men like that. It takes out of the true meaning of having a real beautiful relationship. Right? She said it in herself. She said basically it's a soul tie. It's, you know, something where it's spiritual, and it is. And that's why we have so much stuff going wrong, because we're going against, you know, letting things in our body that shouldn't be let in. Anytime you have a sexual encounter with anybody, you're going to have some type of spiritual tie with that person, no matter how long ago it was, it's going to affect you down the line. So you look at a woman who has this amount of body counts. I don't know how many she's had, but it has to be over 100 or maybe more. Could you imagine the spirits that's been let inside of her? A lot of confusion, a lot of darkness, a lot of not feeling self-worth. Salute, BJ. I didn't know you listened to Red Pill, homie. It was, yeah, I listened to it all, big dog. I want you to come in if you can. But basically, you can't have a situation where as a woman you can have all those multiple men and think that you're just gonna go on through life without no scratches, no scars. You know how many times I've seen it where women who I know, I have women, a lot of female friends, they'll sit up there and tell me at 25 or 30 years old or even older, they feel like their life has been a waste because they've wasted their prime years where they should have been taking care of their body. And instead of doing things the right way at a young age, they allow different men to, take advantage and do what they want to do with them. And now they're at, an age with 2 kids or 3, whatever, and they can't seem to get settled down with a man. They can't seem to find a man, take him seriously, right? And they get a wake up reality. Now, again, this goes back to, like I said, their childhood, man. First of all, I'm going to say this. Women must understand, like, once you see a situation like this from Brittany Renner, who, as you can see, is not the happiest right at this point. She's even said that her options have slimmed down. No one wants to go in her DMs anymore because of how she's being looked at. Nobody wants to be caught up with her as far as a man in the public eye. So she's kind of like limited with options, even though she's not an ugly person. She's very pretty. Even the prettiest girls, if the society sees a man with this girl, they know they're gonna get talked about. They know that people are gonna start whispering and things of that nature. Right? So the man really doesn't want to deal with all that. They don't want to deal with all the backlash and all the stares and all the whispering. They don't want to deal with that embarrassment. And this is what women have to understand. The modern day, just everyday woman, they think that their decision making at a young age doesn't affect them down the line. And what I find very, very crazy is a lot of these women, I want to try to make an example out of this, right? I got a pair of Jordans, right? I got a pair of J's that I'm selling, $250 a pop, right? If I sell the J's to, say, one of my big homies, I say, hey man, it's $250 for some J's, brand new. That's more quality than saying, okay, I wore them for about a year. They got a little bit of a scratch on them, but they're still good. If I sell them for that same price, or I try to, people are going to look at me like a little size, like, what? Like, these are not brand new J's. These are used up. These have been walked around. You've been, playing balling or whatever. That's how men will look at a Brittany Renner, who she might have had a change of heart. She might have tried to change her life around. She might have had to try to, do some, quality work on herself. But the damage has been done. And not to say that people can't change. Nobody's perfect. But I like to say this. I think women now are starting to, do the same thing instead of the opposite. When you see a story like this, that should encourage and energize women to take a different route. That having a high body count is not good. That, going from man to man is not a good thing. It's going to leave you in a position where you're going to be lonely. You're going to be sad. You're going to have probably multiple kids. And it's just not going to be a good life for you. Right? Hit that like button when y'all in here, man. So, and also the women like this who are beautiful or pretty and actually have something to offer, they should be reserved for good men. They should be reserved, not even say good men, just men that have something going for themselves, that have actually stability in their life, that actually have something to offer. But these women give themselves away to busters, scrums of the earth, their best prime years. They give their best prime years to the scums of the earth, the bums, the ones that really ain't got nothing to offer. These women give their best to these type of men. So you gotta look how insulting that is to a person, because I'm pretty sure she had, a man who was, somewhat good to her or tried to be good to her, approach her, and she turned him down for, what they call bad boys or whatever you want to call it in her 20s. So you think a man at that age is going to want to take you serious, who's going to want, when he gets up in his prime, when he starts, showing his self-worth, you think he's going to take you serious when you come back around and try to, get with him. He's probably just going to be like, nah, I'm good. I'm going to let you go over there. I'm going to stay over here. That's pretty much how it goes. And you see that too many times, that these women give themselves to the best men or give themselves to the scum of the earth, and then they want somebody to take them seriously when they're 30, 35 years old. right? Men get tired of that. Men get tired of having to repeat themselves and do the same thing and have to go through the same cycle, right? Men don't want to have to keep telling and repeat themselves. Like, look she's very pretty, very attractive. That should be for a man that actually has his stuff together. Now, of course, you've been damaged so much. Men don't really want to deal with you at this point. Brittany Renner secured the back row. She's went on. No, well, the money, yeah, but as far as her happiness, bro, like she's not winning because she's already allowed a soul tie to get inside of her that, you know, she can't shake. And that's why I said the interview I showed you, that's how she's feeling right now. Yeah, you can have the money, but bro, money doesn't, like she even said, money doesn't move her. Family does. Having a family, being a wife, being a mother, that's what moves her. That's what moves pretty much what a woman's supposed to be moved by. Exactly. OC love pagan home. That's not what truly makes women happy. They've been lied to. And that's another thing I want to also point out. I'm glad that my man OC Love point that out. That's why I love having him in here. I want to talk about this. And look, make sure y'all hit that like button for your boy. Get the likes in there, get the people in. We should have more than 10 likes. Feminism. Feminism has ruined the modern day women. Feminism has ruined modern day women into believing in a life they shouldn't be trying to, you know, reach. Oh, I can do whatever a man can do. You know, if a man can sleep with this amount of women, why can't I do it? I can do anything a man can do. I can, you know, raise, you know, be a single mom and there's not gonna be no backlash. Like I can do all this. George, I can, you know what I'm saying? Sam, I can do all this stuff, but you still miserable. You still in a position where you don't have nothing to look forward to. And then you get 30, 40, 50 years old, bitter at the world, talking bad about men that they misuse you like she's doing right now. This story happens every single time. This happens every single time. A woman will waste her prime years on men that she does not deserve it. She made that point very clear, that she gave herself to men that didn't deserve it. Yeah, that's how it goes. You give it to men that don't deserve it. They use you, abuse you. Then you want to come around and start talking to the men that actually wanted you before and want to get. It's the same cycle, and men don't want to deal with that nonsense. Men don't want to deal with that BS. Like I believe women who are valued should be reserved for valuable. I'm a big believer. Valuable men should be reserved for valuable women. And then I also think that bummy men should be reserved for bummy women. That's how I think it should go. I think everything should match. I've never been in this mindset that you got a high value woman who actually has her stuff together and actually has her stuff going for herself with a bummy, whatever man or man on the other side. That doesn't match. All you end up with multiple kids, drama, and child support. That's really much what you end up with because it doesn't match. It doesn't go together. People say opposites attract, but do they last? Many of these women are coming from broken homes. Many of these women are coming from a lot of child abuse, trauma, molestation, things of that nature that make them confused to the point where they don't know what's up and down. They don't know what's true and what's not. And they go into just, you know, adulthood, just trying new things and just trying to experiment instead of actually having a set foundation between their parents and mother and father of what a real relationship is supposed to be. Hit that like button for your boy. Absolutely right. Appreciate it. I'm trying, bro. I'm trying. You know what I'm saying? I'm just, you know, one man. I'm just trying to go. But like I said, a lot of these women are coming from broken homes. Like Brittany Renner just saluted. Like she said her mother loved random black men and she loved her. That's a very serious statement to make. Your own mother loves random men more than she loves her. Now, again, you guys can see there's no man in this picture. Do y'all see a man? Now, black. That's her brother. That's not her father. That's her brother. Remember, Brittany Renner's only 5'2", so I mean, it ain't much. Even a young man's being taught than her. She's only 5'2". But let me get to my point. A lot of these women, these little girls don't even have a chance. because they constantly getting shown bad examples. So they go through life trying to experiment up and down. So people should take this and say to themselves, okay, I see what Brittany Renner is in her life at this point. She's been very one thing I will say about, even though I don't respect her decisions of what she's done, what I do notice about her, she does show up and she does not really pull any punches. She makes it very clear like what she's doing, who she's done it with, or not who she's done it with, but what she's doing. She's open to coming to podcasts and she's open to talking. She wants to, she'll say what she needs to say and she'll go into a conversation. So I can appreciate that. So if she's giving you these nuggets and this information, my thing is, if I'm a young lady, I would listen to that and say, do I really want to live my life like that? Do I really want to have a child out of wedlock with no man around? Because that's what's going to essentially happen. Right? And then people may ask, well, what about men? Why can't they have more than one woman? It's different. I keep telling people this. It's different when a woman has multiple men and a man has multiple women. A man is able to have multiple women if they're able to handle it, meaning that if their things are taken care of, if they're, financially, responsible and things of that nature, they're able to have more than one woman. A woman is not meant to have more than multiple men. They're just not. They generally, how they're wired is to have one woman or one man. That's how they're wired. They want to be married. They want to have a family. That's what they want. They may tell you something, or they want to have sexual partners in there. They want to have one man, and they want to be with that guy. That's what they want. They don't want multiple bodies because it doesn't go anywhere. Now, like I said, a lot of this stuff is spiritual and things that need to be, hashed out. And my suggestion is therapy. I'm gonna let people in very soon, but hit that like button. A lot of women who've been damaged or who've been, in situations like Brittany Renner need therapy. Now she's saying she's, had a change of heart, she's seen the light and all this stuff. I like to know, has she had a chance to go through therapy and counseling? And I'm not trying to be funny about this. I'm trying to be serious and be real. And I'm not going to just say women. I'm just going to say people in general. People who have childhood trauma and problems like that, there's only certain things that you can tell yourself to somewhat self-soothe. It's called self-therapy. You don't need self-therapy. You need professional therapy because you only know so much. So when you tell yourself stuff that you're going by how much capacity information you can take in, which is probably not a lot. You don't know why you're the way you are. You don't know why you think the way you think. You don't know why you do what you do. So you need to have a person who's licensed and trained to tell you what's going on with yourself. I've had to take situations where I've had to, listen to therapists and myself from my childhood to make me understand why I'm the way I am and why I do things. Like therapy is not something that makes you weak. And that's something that we've gotten accustomed in the Black community as, making you go to therapy means you're crazy. And I think that's another thing that's been just very, very distasteful. Why would you think somebody who you pay, who's licensed, who has a job, why would you think going to that person will make you crazy? Right? So when I look at a situation like Brittany Renner, who's saying she's had a change of heart, because I've heard this before about multiple women, they've had a situation where they're not getting what they want. They're lonely, looking around. They don't see anybody around them. She mentioned that she doesn't have any real DMs anymore like she once did. So it's a culture shock. It's different. Right? So could it be that she's very, very, having a change of heart? Or she's saying it to just, she wants to be married, she wants to have a man. At the end of the day, you gotta start with the root of the problem, because if you don't, then you're gonna constantly keep running to the same thing, which means you have to get down to the darkness of why you've made all those bad decisions in your 20s and just allowing multiple hundreds of men probably run right through you. And like I said, she's not an ugly woman. But yet she has this seem like she had this low self-esteem. She has a low self-worth. Why is that? Get the likes up for my boy. Yeah, I'm trying to. I'm not gonna get too psychologically in her head or nothing, but the girl got a drama in her life, bro. She should probably talk to. Ain't no probably pegging. She needs to. Listen, we gotta stop getting to the point where we don't want to deal with stuff, man. This is why stuff keeps popping up. At the end of the day, because this could be your daughter, it could be your niece, it could be anybody that your friend, your family is. This stuff is becoming a general norm where it's gonna get to a point where it's on your front door. Right? You just look at some of the rappers that we have right now. The women, I was talking to one of my friends about this yesterday. Some of these rappers, these female rappers, are just now like the Megan Thee Stallions, the Cardi B's. You know what I'm saying? Those women are now the next generation's women, girls they look up to. Look at the clubs that we go into now. Look at the music that we listen to. It's mostly thought music. We're embracing the culture of thought culture. That's what we're embracing. When in my day in the 2000s, man, the rappers, you looked at the rappers at that time, Missy Elliott, Eve, those type of rappers, man, like they dressed with class, they dressed with, yes, they were hard, but they didn't promote their bodies over the place. It used to be somewhat of an insult to allow your body just to be shown like that. It was an insult. It was embarrassing. It was embarrassing to be called a whore in front of people. Now, that's something that's being embraced at this point. It used to be you say that to a woman, like another girl says to another girl, that's a fight automatically on sight. But now we're looking at it as that's a term of endearment. Things are backwards, man. That's why the divorce rates are going harder than what's ever been. That's why the marriage rates are dropping. That's why people are just, it's no seriousness to love anymore. It's no real reason to even look to get married in the most part now. It's more popular to have a child, more popular to have a kid. I'm gonna let y'all in here. I'm interested to see what y'all gotta say. But my emphasis on this Brittany Renner situation again, it's just another example of women who think that the game is one way and they get hit in the face with reality. But also maybe she should get off of social media entirely, for them. Yeah, bro, the only therapy she needs, again, somebody to actually sit down and talk with her. And that's not like a speedy process. That's something that's going to take time. With the amount of stuff that she has on her plate, that's not going to be something that's just going to be cut and dry, bro. That's going to be something that's going to have to take some real soul searching at the end of the day. What's good, OC Love? What's good, my boy?
What's up, man? I see you going here cooking early.
Yeah, I got some time before, the weekend. So what you got, bro?
Nah, I'm right up there with you, man. I agree with what you were saying, man. Like the feminism, I mean, it's sold a bill of lies to women as a whole, man. And it's got society completely backwards, man. I talk to my daughter about this shit all the time, man. Like, I'm glad she listened to me on things like that. Like, for instance, society, well, basically feminism has taught women that they can be men, and that, like, it's like this, like, society nowadays, women are raising their sons to be the men they hate, like real feminine men. Like, they don't want to work, they just want to sit around and be lazy and just have, they don't work, right? But they teaching their daughters to be men, go out, work, be your own person, you know what I mean? Sleep with anybody you want to sleep with. They sending their daughters off to be men, and they calling their sons, right? They're raising their sons to be the men they hate. and raising their daughters to be to be men. Like it's completely backwards now. You know what I mean? It's like I just don't understand how we got here. Like it's so obvious that what they teaching these children is wrong, but yet they still teaching it.
You know what, bro? Well, one of the reasons because they took the man out the house.
Right, exactly.
That has been the fundamental
reason.
That's the biggest reason they took the man out the house. They've been promoting this feminism garbage that a woman can do what a man can do. A woman is stronger by herself. All this nonsense, all this garbage, and then what I'm saying it's just poison at the end. That's the number one thing. And they don't understand when they do that, they're actually hurting the child because they grow up to women like this who are confused about their life, and that promotes more toxicity around. Because like I just told Pagan 180, at some point it's gonna get to your front door.
Right.
At some point you're gonna have to deal with this. At some point it's gonna be maybe your daughter is have to be accustomed to this, or your niece, or your aunt, or somebody that of yours, so one of your close friends. Like it's only getting worse. So when I hear comments like, I'm saying, I'm not gonna really take it. It's like I would say this. Not your job to change somebody else that you don't know, but I would just be a little more mindful because how serious a problem we have.
Right. Like, it's a huge problem.
If you look at her, like, what would make you being attractive like this? Why would you have all this doubt and all this, toxicity inside of you, all this, when you actually look how you look, you should have no issues getting a man of quality, because that's what we go by pretty much generally, is just by looks.
Right.
If we're being honest about it. So she says she's not getting no DMs no more. She's not getting taken serious by men. So you got to ask yourself, what's the real reason? What's the problem? What have you done to put yourself in this situation? And go ahead.
No, go ahead. You can finish.
No, so I made the point. I'm like, women have to understand, like I said, the example I said, if I sell you a pair of J's, a pair of Jordans,
exactly,
and I say, listen, these Jordans are $250, right? They brand new, ain't nobody touched them. They cool. I ain't play no ball in them. Here you go, $250. You'll be like, okay, cool, $250. Here's $250, right?
Right.
Another dude comes to you and is selling you the same Jordans, but the Jordans have been worn. They've been worn out. He's done what he's done with them.
But
probably got a little bit, some scars or some scratches on the shoes, on the bottom soles. And he says $250. You're gonna be looking like, I'll pass, or I can give a discount.
Right.
I.e., I'll deal with you, but I won't marry you. I won't take you serious. I might,
exactly.
Say, have my little fun with you. But I'm being honest with you. But I'm not finna take you to. I think if women start looking at like examples like that,
exactly,
it's a bad investment. It's a bad investment, and at the end of the day, I can say all day, I think women listen too much what a person says instead of what they do.
Exactly.
They tell you all the right words. A woman hearing, "Oh, I love you. I want be my husband."
Because they based on feelings.
All feelings, and men know that. That's why I say the players, the bad boys, the guys like that know what to say to get in your head, to get in your ear, to get what they want out of you. And like you said, they've been lied to, a lot of them, and they're in a position now where they're starting to face the consequences. Oh, man, we're all good, man, and nobody wants to date. Like, sweetheart, nobody's gonna take you seriously if you have
giving away all your value.
At all that, when you can get a woman who doesn't have that track record, who's younger, and I ain't got to deal with also like the extra chill. Like, it's just a bad mix, bro. Like, and I just think women got to be more and more cognitive and more aware.
Mindful.
Like, when you see situations like this, like, you need to listen and stop trying to live your best years by jump from man to man in your 20s. That's not the time to do that. Your time, that's the time for you to get yourself prepared to be wifed up.
Right. Right. See, it's a thing like this. Like, women nowadays, like, the women we grew up, we were raised by, the women before us, they knew these things. But the women today, they don't realize that a woman is born with her value from birth. They born with value. Men have to build theirs, right? But see, because you're born with value, you got to protect it. You can't give it away freely and then still expect to be able to sell it yourself for the same price you was when you was, when you was at your peak value. And so they go around, they're listening to these feminine people, the feminism people, telling them that they can do whatever a man can do. So you're going around giving away all your value, like it's going out of style. And then you want to get later on in life and find this high value man when you don't qualify for him no more. You've given away all your value. So you're gonna end up finding the guys that only look at you for sex. That's all you're gonna get coming towards you, because you've given away all your value to the ones that didn't deserve it.
Yeah, I mean it's like bad credit, bro. Like if you get, let's
exactly
say,
like bad credit.
It's like credit, bro. Like if the history shows you don't pay things back on a timely matter, or you're not working to pay, like people are not going to trust. It's all about, your value. What men? It's like how they value you. If they value, what I'm saying, as a wife and somebody that they respect, they're going to treat you as such. If they value as just another number out here, jump off, then that's what they're going to treat you as.
Like renting cars and buying cars. Like they'll rent you for a while, but they ain't gonna buy you.
No value, and I just think one of the most things that just really kind of like makes me like scratch my head is like what do you think is gonna, like I saw another video earlier about this woman literally calling herself out. I'm tired of being a hoe. I just want to be I want to be loved. I'm like, no. Because let's say you do. Let's just give you a hypothetical. Let's say that you do get a man who's worth something. Let's just say you're able to, still, even of all the stuff that you did, you're still able to get a valuable quality guy. Let's just say, let's go with that. If you ain't done the work by yourself to actually fix what was wrong with you, because there's something wrong with you if you jump to a guy like that. What and you just do it. There's something internally wrong with you, spiritually. Right. So if you ain't dealt with that inside of you, and you already asking for something else, you ain't really done the work where you don't deserve a quality man. Right. See, women get off saying, "Oh, he doesn't deserve me," or "he can't handle me." A lot of these women can't handle a quality man. Right. A lot of these women can't handle a man who has their stuff together, or has a man who has values and has more than what they can't handle it. And that's why they choose, and I thought this was the craziest thing. That's why they choose to deal with the lower value, because it ups their self-esteem. Right. It ups their self-esteem because they look at, I can never match that. So let me just go and get somebody lower than me. And that will, I don't care how it makes, it will make me look better. And I just think that's one of the most silliest things. Instead of actually bettering yourself and be a better person, you rather just not do the work and be a lazy bum and just devalue yourself and just get like a lesser person. Like that right there is, again, the brokenness of society, brokenness of people and not doing work. Because like if you get with a man of that caliber and you ask him for it and he gives it to you, you're not gonna be able to handle it at that point.
Right, because it's another reason that is because women nowadays, they struggle with accountability. They don't. They want the pros and cons of everything they want the pros of everything without the cons. Like they don't want to deal with the cons of things. What's a woman's value? A woman's value is her self-worth. Is how she like, for instance, a woman is born with value. What I mean by that is like she's born viewed on a high standard. When you have like how do I explain this? Like Like, okay, like BJ said, a high value car, right? You got to say you got a Ferrari sitting outside, right? Brand new, ain't never been touched, right? If you go around letting people drive it all the time and use it, it's going to lose its value. No matter how you slice it, it's going to lose its value. The value is going to go down on it. You know what I mean? And women are born like a brand new car. They born that way. That's the way God designed them. You know, your body's your temple. That's where that comes from. You know what I mean? If you go around letting a bunch of guys in your temple, you know, just like a house, if you let a bunch of people run into your house is going to lose value. If you let 100 people live in your house, you got a brand new house, right? You let a bunch of people just live in it, go in and out freely, do whatever they want with it. The house is going to lose its value. That's just the way it is. But if you keep it up and you only let select few in that house, it'll hold its value for a long time. That's the way it is. That's the way God designed us. That's the way God designed the way the world works. That's pure and simple.
Yeah, I like that car example. I mean, it's real simple. Like it's not like it's not hard to figure out. It's not rocket science. Like
it's not really the same for men because we're not born with value. We have to build ourselves up. When a man, like for instance, that's why you never see a man that ain't got nothing going for himself be able to get on yachts. You never see men getting in the clubs for free. You never see men. You don't see women coming up to men all day. We're not born that way. We have to build ourselves up. We have to build that social hierarchy in ourselves. We got to go out, get a good job. We have to work on our bodies. Like we can't be fat and out of shape. You know what I mean? That don't work for us.
Yeah, Bruce said, "Can we be the same for men too?" And then he said, "Really, so we can be with multiple." Bro, that I spoke about that on a few lives back. I spoke that men can have multiple women. That's not something. There's cultures that have that, and Bruce being from Haiti and being of African descent, I know that he knows what I'm talking about. That a man, they have multiple wives. They can have multiple wives.
We
And
can spread.
It's not something that is unnormal. It's something that you can have multiple wives. Like I said, I spoke about the Lou Williams video. Like a man taking on an extra wife, or it's like a possession. If they're able to take care of him, take care of the wife, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, financially, then yes, you can have more. Now you can have another wife. Now, with a woman, she's not built like that. She's not built to have multiple bodies. That's why you see every time they get and have multiple men, they're not happy with their life. They're looked at it. They're looked down upon.
No, because
that's the difference.
It's in a woman's nature to want the best guy to be able to fulfill all her needs. It's in her nature. That's the way God designed her. But a man can spread his seed far and wide. Like for instance, a woman can only bring one pregnancy to term per year, right? She can't have a bunch of babies all year long, right? But a man can have babies with as many women as he can sleep with. That's the way God designed us. You know what I mean?
That's why I say a man could have multiple women, but should he have multiple women? Because
it's a
lot of men that can't handle it. When I say can't handle, I mean like they're not prepared to have it.
Right.
They're not prepared. So, and knowing that having more than one woman means like more money, more problems. Like Vicky said, can be more women, more problems, more headaches, more. People think it's cool having multiple women when reality is you have to take care of each one of them. You have to spend time with them. You have to, entertain them. You have to do all this work.
It's work.
But a man can have more than one. Like that's not something that.
If he's ready for it, he can do it. A woman, it'll go against a woman's nature to have multiple women. It goes against who she is as a woman. That's not her natural. I don't know how you say that word. Like
that's not her place.
It's not her natural proclivity to have multiple men. It goes against what she really wants, right?
Right. And women who, you know, they say, well, we can't do it too. I mean, you can do it. Let me know how you feel after you do it.
Right. They are not happy afterwards.
Yeah, they feel dirty, they feel disgusting, they feel like, bro, like that's your answer right there. Why would I want to keep doing something that makes me feel dirty?
Right, but it's because though, like we different, like our bodies, our biological makeup is different. Like you can stick your, like for instance, I'm not gonna use the regular parts. Like say you working with your hands, right? You can take your hands and put it in 1,000 different holes. It won't hurt you, right? But if a woman lets 1,000 different hands go inside her, it's gonna feel different than just touching something. You know what I mean? It's you letting that man inside of you. That's why it's different. That's why they get that soul tie thing. We don't get that because it helps them with their nurturing nature. You muted.
Let me ask you this question. So Brittany Renner's 30, like she's 30 years old right now. She's at a place in her life where she's obviously not getting what she wants. Men are not hitting her up. I don't think she said they're not even hitting her up for just having sex. They're not hitting her up at all.
Right. She did.
They're just like leaving her alone, period. And I get it because if you go out and you're seen in public with her, you're in the tabloids, you're in the media, you're gonna get killed. Like you got to deal with the backlash.
Yeah, people gonna be clowning you.
People gonna be, and as men, we don't want to have our boys clowning us, man. Like our boys watch and they like, man, what are you doing? Like they laughing, like we don't want to have to deal with that.
Right.
We don't want to deal with that. So it's like they leave her alone. But privately, they might, hit her, like you would think they would hit her up, but they're not even hit her up for that. So it's like it's really bad. So my question is to you: where do you see Brittany Renner going from here on out in this situation?
At best, she would have to lower her standards like a great deal, like get a younger man that is more naive, right? But in all actuality, it's probably gonna be hard for her to find a man for the long term. Like she'll find men that'll date her, you know what I mean? Because she's pretty. But to take her seriously, it's gonna be hard pressed. She's gonna be hard pressed to find a man that'll take her seriously, unless she finds like a really old man or a really young man. That's like all he wants to do is just have somebody there.
I mean,
somebody don't know her past or something like that.
She might have to jump the fence. She might have to go
across the pond.
She might have to take a break from black men because I mean, most of us we already know who you are. So
right,
we're not gonna go for that. We're not gonna go for the okie doke. So you might have to jump the fence and play that, I've changed card somewhere else. And again, I don't know what type of work she's done, but I just find it very distasteful when somebody comes and say I've changed my ways, and they're speaking on things they've done, and they ain't really done no real work. They have not went to therapy. They have not done the real soul searching it takes to get out of bondage. And that's the only way you'll get out of your bondage is by addressing the root of the problem. Your mother, you said your mother wasn't even she loved black, men more than she loved you. That right there is disturbing to hear.
Right.
So it's a reflection of how you are. Like, now she did say this. She said she's not nothing like her mom as a parent, but she has her patterns. Like,
so she thinks.
What?
She don't know if she's like that though, because she didn't have like her kid is not grown yet. So, like I think her kid is really young. Like so, she don't know if she got those traits of her mother yet. She don't know that yet. That still remains to be seen. Now she can say she's not like that, but that still remains to be seen. Those traumas, they set in some kind of way, like, like she's seen her mom just parade different black men in front of her, right? She said. So, and then she had multiple partners parading in and out of her life. So you kind of are like your mom.
And my thing is, bro, could you imagine her trying to convince another dude that she's changed? Like, could you imagine the guy that she would be dating? Like, she's trying to convince her, like, oh, I changed here. I did, I've been doing the work. I've been doing what I was supposed to do. And I would go back and forth in my head.
Right.
Like, all those images of you just getting ran through by different men would just be a light bulb in my head.
Absolutely.
So it's like, at that point, it's almost like, okay, who it's like finding a needle in a haystack. Who's going to still be willing to, bite the bullet? Like, she's gonna have to, like, it's like Kevin Samuel said this, the good outweigh the bad. Right? Have a child, right? That's already a strike against you. That that's not going to be the man that he deals with. We are the world, like the hip hop world, the black world, pretty much knows who you are. You're in the limelight for the wrong reasons.
For the wrong reasons. So
what? Well, at this point, it's like, okay, well, what do I have to offer? Like, what do you like? What's the good about you other than you're pretty? And probably your sexual intercourse is good. Like, what else? Like, that would probably be the way to get the man that she wants. But even then, it's like, will they wipe him up? Go ahead.
No, it's like you might be able to get a man, but can you keep him? Like with her past, it's gonna be hard pressed for her to keep a man. It just is. Because she's giving away her value so much.
Giving away her value. Yep. Giving away her value. And some of these women they walk around so naive with the whole, I didn't know what I was doing was gonna, I didn't know this was gonna, carry on with me for years to come. I'm like, huh? You didn't know?
Right. I mean, feminism has told these girls that they can be like men and they can sleep with as many people they want to, and that being sexually liberated is a good thing. It's not. Like, I just don't get how they buy into that, knowing that. But it's like this, though. They don't care about what a man thinks until it's time to settle down.
Until
it's too late.
And that right there, that right there will make me not really feel sorry for those women, because my thing is, you're just now having to change the art because you know that it's over for you, or you can't get nobody, so you want to now say, like, and that's the downfall, like, not listening.
Right. And another thing, like think about this. You know that she's had a bunch of different good men that would have loved her for the rest of her life. She's had them in the friend zone for years. She didn't value those guys. Those guys were nothing to her, but she was sleeping with all these rappers and these celebrities and giving away all her value all this time. And now you get to the point where you hit the wall. And you thinking like, man, where all the good men gone? You dogged them out for years and years.
It's the same story, bro. And I don't understand, like, how you can be that delusional to think that, once again, karma comes around to everybody, man. It does not miss you. The law of the universe will find you eventually. It might not be the day after or the month after or a year, but it will find you.
Absolutely.
And when it finds you, it's gonna hit you like a stack of nickels, and
For real.
you can't go around boo-hooing and saying you didn't know what I was doing, because you did know, you did. And right around the age of early 30s, mid 30s, sometimes early 40s, this is when women start talking like this. Most of the time, this is when they start having changes of hearts, and they start having like, oh, I regret what I did. But you gotta understand, men don't want to hear that. They don't want to have to keep hearing that.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to keep hearing that I'm 30 and I have a kid now. Oh, I'm ready to settle down. Like, no, like we like men are moving on to the next one, the next positive option at
Right.
the end of the day. So just gotta make smart decisions, man. Like I refuse to believe women are that stupid. Like, do you understand when a woman really wants to know something, like how decisive and how witty they can be? So they're not just dumb. They're not like
Right.
they make dumb decisions, like just bad decisions. And I know it may sound like we're harping on the women hard, but it's because this is something that's just affecting society in general, man. These topics, man. I'm tired of reading, and hearing stuff like this all the time. Like that's just what the norms has been, and it's like kind of what it is.
Right. And like you said, it sounds like we harping on women real bad, but we trying to help y'all. We just saying don't fall into this trap right here. This is a trap where you go around in your younger years giving away all your value, and then you get to the age you want to settle down, and no options are available. You can avoid this. You have the value from the get-go. Just protect it.
But here's my thing, okay? So you say, what if they say, well, I'm not attracted to the good man. I'm not attracted to that type of man. Okay. OC, look, let me ask you this question. So how many times have you heard a woman say about a guy who ain't, don't really have much, who ain't worth nothing? How many times have you heard a woman say, I just wanted to change him? I was trying to change him to a good guy. I was trying to change him into a better. Well, how many times have you heard that?
So many times. So many times. I mean, man, it's like.
So,
go ahead.
So, okay, so you would change the guy who don't have nothing, or who's just, let's just be honest, a bum. You'll change him. You'll work on him. You'll play origami with him. Again, this dude that's a bummy, this dude that might be like, has multiple baby mamas or kids, whatever the case may be. Just a bad situation.
Right, the Pookies and the Ray Rays.
Yeah, them niggas. You'll do that, right? But the guy that you call a square, or the guy that you call, the Urkel, whatever, or somebody like that.
Right.
You can't attempt to, change him into ways that you kind of would like, or ways that, you like him to dress, or ways that you would find him. You can't do that. Oh, I'm just going to leave that guy alone. I don't want to deal with him. Like, nothing's perfect.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, finish. I like what you're saying.
No, so nothing's perfect. But my thing is all about investments. It's all about what I think is going to be value to me.
Mm-hmm.
If I got a guy who has the qualities that I would assume that are positive, what I'm saying, he's, doing what he needs to do. He's on his grind. He's on his business. He got good credit, all that stuff. He treats you good, all that stuff, but he's just not the particular bad boy or the particular man that you would simply, yet you're used to being attracted to. He doesn't dress the way you want him to dress. He doesn't, you know what I'm saying? He doesn't do those things. Is it really asking that much to like say, okay, how about we try to, change this about, or try to, help change this about him? Let's see if he's open to doing that. Because again, if a man really likes you, he's gonna try to make attempts to change ways if he feel like it's not, it's compromising his integrity to do it.
Right.
So why is it so hard for you to go out your way to help him out, but you will spend years at a time in your prime to do it to the person that
Doesn't want to change.
Worth a damn. And then come back and cry about it later, saying, "Well, I don't know what happened in my life. I don't know what." Like at that point, you just shut up. At that point, because it's like there's no excuse. That's what I'm trying to say. There's no excuse.
Right.
And when I hear stuff like that, bro, I'm just like laughing. I'm like, bro, there's really nothing that you can say to make me believe that you making bad choices was you just okay. I was running out of options, so I had to go through that to be where I'm at. Like you didn't have to do that. You didn't have to be in that position. You chose to be there. You chose to.
Right. No, that's right. It's like this. Like that's why I don't feel sorry for Brittany. It's like I know she's had multiple guys in her DMs. She's had multiple guys in her friend zone. She friend zoned the guy that would have loved her for the rest of her life. She's had him in the friend zone for years. She don't treat him. She just use him and abuse him. And it's like that with most of these girls that are pretty and have things going for themselves in their younger years. They have these guys that the good guys that really would love them and really would treat them like a queen for the rest of their life. They'll put them in the friend zone and go hang out with, Chad or Pookie or Ray Ray or the guy that she thinks is this bad boy that's gonna dog her out. She loves him, right? She'll let him put hands on her and bail him out of jail, stuff like that. But okay, the guy that really loves you because he ain't got a Ferrari or something like that right now, you don't want him. Or he don't dress well, you don't want him. Okay, cool. That's what you want then. Okay. But it's like most women, the reason why they think all men are like, you hear this bogus stuff that all men are dogs and all men cheat and all this stuff like that. You hear that because 90% of women are sleeping with 10% of men. The top 10% of men is the one that's sleeping with all the women. So y'all sharing men as it is. The average man is invisible to the average woman. Like most women, they don't even see the average man. They just look right over him. He's invisible to her. And it's like, man, come on now. You making this hard on yourself. You just looking over the guy that would love you.
Yeah, man. Like one of the most like entertaining shows I used to love watching was Family Matters. You know what I'm saying? Urkel, that was one of the most entertaining
absolutely
shows I love to watch, man. And like I just made the point, changing or trying to groom a man into what you want him to do. Women love to fix. They love to, do projects, and they love to try to help things out, right? Right. So if you remember watching that show, Urkel, Jaleel White, that's who the character he played, the main character. He had two. He had Urkel and he had Stefan.
Yeah, he had to fix himself.
He had to fix himself. Right. So Urkel was the dweeby, geeky, you know what I'm saying, like with the 4 eyes, with all that stuff. Anything that his parents put up, anything you think about a geek, he was the standard of that. That was Urkel.
Right.
Almost
to the point he became like a synonym for geek.
Right. So he became from Urkel. He goes, in his time machine because Urkel, he was building things. There was an episode where he went from Urkel to being Stefan. Right. He went from being a dweeby to being a cool, good look, handsome, tall, all that.
Suave,
smooth, you know what I'm saying, GQ guy. That's why the reason I bring that up is that it's not hard to change. If you see, you know how many times I've seen just the dweebiest women or the dweebiest dudes in elementary, middle school, and they grow up, and you look at them like, when they like in their 20s, like, damn, like she look good.
Right.
Like she used to be, have 4 eyes, like whatever. And she wasn't like that. When she gets older, she's like 20, 22, 24. And she said, man, you bad now. The guy
became ugly duckling thing.
Right. So it's like, And then the ones that were the popular, the cool kids, you know, elementary, middle school, they turn out to be bums.
They let themselves go.
Bro, they let themselves go. So, again, I just mentioned it. I'm going to say it again. Ladies, don't get hung over the fact that you have a guy who you know has his stuff together. Because women know the guys who have their stuff together, the men that don't. Let's just be honest. You know the dude who has his stuff together, ain't, you know, moving around, you know, all over the place. You know who's who. Let's just cut that out. So
better than we do.
Better than we do. But the fact of the matter is they go off of what they're attracted to, what makes them feel good. That's what they'll go by, and that's fine. My thing is, if you so quick to just say I'm gonna change the bad boy, the dude that ain't really worth nothing, you know, again, they're not gonna stay with you. They're not gonna be with you. This fairy tale, this movie thing that, you know, the drug dealer or the gangbanger stays with, that's not real.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to build with you and stay with you. That's not how they're built.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you change him and go out your way to try to change him, but the guy that you call, you know, saying a geek or whatever, or he's not up to your standards, like you won't do what you want to do to try to fix him up.
Right. It's crazy.
I just think, again, it's really no excuse, honestly, bro. That's what I'm getting at.
I agree.
It's really not.
I agree totally.
So, what you I know we got some more comments, bro. But anybody hit that like button here. What you got about the Clippers, man? We looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, we is. Yeah, we is, man. I want to see how we handle this little test we got tonight. I want to see how we do this. I think we can get this game tonight too.
Oh, for sure, bro. And everybody's playing. I think everybody's playing, right?
Right.
Oh yeah, we for sure can get this game.
Yeah, I want to see it.
Yeah, we got I think a 5-game road trip. I think the Sixers, the Raptors, the Celtics. Who else we got?
Detroit. We got Detroit in there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the way we're looking right now, man. I'm happy to be getting healthy, fully healthy. That, man, it's been a long time coming to get fully healthy.
Clippers don't look good as Jumper. Yeah. I saw that video, that little interview he did.
I like that. I like Josh saying that because that's more motivation.
Exactly. And that's what he don't understand. He think he motivating his team when he's really motivating the entire West, especially us.
Right. I like when guys talk.
So yeah, man, we gonna have a nice little stretch. I think there's no back-to-backs, is there?
I think there's like one. I think we got like one left before the All-Star break. I think we got like one left, maybe two.
But what about on this road trip?
No, I don't think we got one on this road trip, do we?
No, I don't think. I think we have a day in between rests, so Kawhi should play all 5 games.
I don't think we got one on this road trip, unless I'm missing one. Well, let me see.
Nope, I don't think we got one. No, I lied. We have one Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah, so I see.
Detroit on Monday and then Toronto on Tuesday. So I would sit, if we're gonna sit Kawhi, I'll sit him off the game against the
Pistons.
Against the Pistons and play against the Raptors. Because he's going back home anyway.
Right.
So I think
that makes sense.
He would play against the Raptors in my opinion. And then get them ready for the Celtics game, and then the Pacers, and then back home.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So,
but all these games is winnable though, man. We can win these games, man. Gonna get us a little streak going. We do things right. We'll get a little streak going, and ride into the All-Star break on a nice little up.
Yo, if we win all 4 of these games, we can be 24-14, bro. And that we should for sure, because we're number 5th in the West. We should for sure get top 3 if we win all 5 of these games, because all the teams have 19 wins. The first 5 teams.
Right.
So.
Were we like 1.5 behind the number 1?
Yeah, 1.5 behind Denver. So we need Denver to at least drop a couple of these games.
Yep.
Except the Mavs are hurt like the Warriors. I didn't watch too much of the Mavs. I ain't really been watching too much of them.
I watched a few of their games. They I think it's just they rely too much on Luka, man. They put too much on his plate, and they need to just start spreading that ball more, man. That's their biggest problem.
Yeah.
I know they ain't like got no second superstar or nothing like that, but they need to start spreading that ball more regardless.
Right. Yeah, man. Bruce still on Tatum. He says Celtics still the best team. Is 10-1 win MVP now. Bro, they dropped 5 out of the last 6 games.
I still got Tatum as my front runner, but he's losing ground.
Yeah, man, the way Jokic is playing, bro, he's making another case, bro. Jokic making another case.
He definitely is.
Because
like I still got Tatum a little bit in front of him because he's still, even in the games they've lost, that he's played well, most of them. But
yeah,
they still lose.
I doubt they give it to Jokic this time. But I mean, he got Denver in the number 1 in the West, and this is with Jamal Murray and Porter Jr. being out certain games.
Yeah.
So I don't want to see Jokic winning again, bro. Like I'm still like thinking Embiid should have won it last year, but
he should have won last year.
So the reason what's in Jokic's favor is because of the PER and all that. That's what that right there kind of like helps him out, because most of the voters look at numbers, so that's what helps him out really. But I thought Embiid should have won MVP last year. And the Sixers right now, Embiid, they're 18-12, so they're only 1 game behind Denver, and James Harden missed an entire month.
Right.
So
and Maxi's been out too.
Maxi's been out too, so he can make a case for Embiid right now. Yeah, the East is, bro. This is like the first time in a long time I look at the East and they're like better than the West.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man. So, any last comments for you?
Man, women, stop listening to feminism.
Bro, tell me, stop listening to feminism, please.
Complete lies.
Yeah, man. But hey, man, I'm gonna get off. Huh?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna get up off here though, man. I'm about to see if I can get on this player's choice.
For sure.
Said so. Hey. Mostly should be seeing more Kawhi Leonard. Yeah, we should be seeing more Kawhi since the back-to-backs are almost done.
Yeah, we'll have some after All-Star break, but we've done most of them.
For sure.
But yeah, man, like and subscribe, man. Boy, BJ dropping that knowledge.
Hey, man, love. We'll be back on tomorrow for sure.
All right. Salute everybody.
Salute. Oh, that's my man, OC Love, man. Bruce is stupid. He said, what's Brittany's number again? Peggy 180, LOL. Hey, but y'all, man, go and check me. I'm about to go over to the Player's Choice. Go over there on that side. See if I can get in there and talk some hoops. But yeah, man, appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all comment. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff for your boy. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section about Brittany Renner. And Yeah, man. We'll be back on tomorrow for Clipper Talk. Until next time, pull up a seat, pull up a chair, pull up. Peace. I didn't like swimwear.